For many children, the internet offers the opportunity to learn, play, and interact. But for some, it has become a loop of unknown sadness.
Niko na miaka 11 na natoka Nairobi. Napenda kucheza game kwa simu. Mimi napenda kucheza Temple, Talking Angela na Curtain Run. Nilikuwa nimeripiwa. Alafu nikaenda nikamwambia teacher ati na mtu nilikuwa anafanya tabia mbaya. After kumwambia hivyo, akaniambia nimweleze statement. Nikamwambia alikuwa ameniambia nikuje hapo stepa. After kukuja hapo stepa, atapaka hapo gari. Mimi sikuwa nimejua chenye anakuja kufanya. Akaniambia nichukue simu, nicheze game. Akanitolea nguo. After kunitolea nguo, akaniambia nicheze game. Amalize, akanipaka mafuta ya Arimis. After kunipaka mafuta ya Arimis, yeye akajipaka, akaanza kunifanya tabia mbaya. After kunifanya tabia mbaya, aliniambia nisiambie mtu. Nikiambia mtu, ataniua. Venye aliniambia hivyo, akanipea 100. Venye alinipea 100, nikaenda kwa nyumba. Kesho yake alafu ndo nikaenda nikaambia teacher. Na miaka 15 kutoka Mombasa. Tangu nilikuwa grade 4, kulikuwa mamangu alikuwa anileta tabia kunipigia picha nikiwa uchi. Tumaanisha mzungu mwenye hata sijui ndo wapi. Na hiyo tabia hapo kwa muda miaka 3. Na ingine alikuwa na ile tabia kunichukua video akitumanisha kwa mzungu huko chini, akiniingiza vidole huko chini. Na ingine ni kunipeleka kuona kufanya vitu zenye hazifurahishi. Kuniambia mtu mwingine ufanya nini. Mwanzo aliniambia nenda breast system. Nikasema sawa ngamoja, lakini utawezana na hiyo bei 1,200 utaweza. Sema yeye ndio atakuangalia na tumia JC. Nikamuuliza nenda wapi? Kaniambia nenda chukua pesa afu turudi tu tukanunua. Nikamwambia sawa. Tukaenda tukaingia kwa apartment, sijui ni hapo, tukaingia vizuri. Akachukua tukaingia akakaribishwa na mzungu sijui na wapi. Nikaketi hapo sitini. Kamwona alienda zake bedroom na mzungu. Nikatuliapo kiasubiri. Kidogo mama ananiambia njoo twende ukatoe. Nenda bafuni ndo ukatoe nguo. Nikamwambia lakini tunafanya nini? Akaniambia nenda katoe nguo, tunafanya kitu alafu kumaliza tuende. Kamwambia lakini tunafanya nini? Anasema nitakupiga. Sasa mimi naogopa hicho kichapo. Kaingia, katoa, kaniambia lala kwa kitanda. Kamuuliza mama lakini tufanya nini? Kaniambia wewe lala tu kwa kitanda, kimaliza tuenda na bracelets. Nikalala. Sasa mbona yofanya vitu zenye sifa kuona na huo mzungu. Sasa mzungu kimfanya mama niingiza mimi vidole huko chini. Sasa namwambia mama naumia. Niambia tulia. Kama mzungu vile mbaliza kanimwagilia hizo sperm zake kwa mwili wangu.
Huyo mwenye alimfanyia hivyo alikuwa like friend wake. So alikuwa na watoto wengi na alikuwa anaingiza watoto kwa gari. anatema watoto wakitoka shule na anaweka watoto kwa gari na anawabaia vitu na anawapea simu na anaonyesha watoto wana watch vitu yenye ifai kwa simu. So mimi nilikuwa kazi, nikaitwa huko mali nilikuwa. So mimi sikukuwa najua ni nini inaendelea. So nikaitwa nikaenda huko. So vile nilienda nilipata hiyo story kama nilikuitwa. So nikauliza mbona hukusema, na alisema alikuwa ameogopa kuniambia. Sometimes wakati nilikuanga mkali kidogo. Juu lazima wafundishwe kukuwa wazuri. So alisema hakuniambia juu alikuwa anajua atachapwa. Nikamwambia kitu kama hiyo kifanyika, si ungekuja na useme kwanza. Unamwambia wazazi ndio umwambie teacher mwisho. Na alisema sasa mimi yeye alimwambia teacher juu teacher ndiye alikuwa ako karibu na yeye. So niliitwa chief, alafu nikaitwa shule, nikaenda nikapata ni hiyo case. So hii kitu ilikuwa inafanyikanga wakati alikuwa anatoka shule. Juu sasa mimi saa zingine nikitoka narudi jioni, so sina time ya kuenda kuchukua mtoto shule juu najua mahali place chupa iko. So ndio kitu kama hiyo ilifanyikia. Tukaenda police na ule mtu akashikwa na kalipa pesa akatolewa tena. So vile nilisikia alitolewa, nilisikia uchungu sana kama mzazi. But hiyo kitu sitakangi kuongeanga sana juu hiyo kitu inaniumanga sana.
When you're handling an issue of a child, there are many dynamics involved, but one of the main areas that is largely unbudgeted for, let me say, or poorly resourced, is the human professional resource, because the child is in need of counseling, for example. But how many government-sponsored counselors exist who can walk that journey with the child, which might even take years sometimes?
For one, the national budget does not reflect government commitment to combating online sexual exploitation and abuse. If you look at the national budget, this year's national budget that is yet to be released, very little money has been allocated to the Department of Children's Services, which has the statutory mandate for overseeing child protection in the country. And so quite a number of gaps in terms of budget allocation. One and the only way that a government can demonstrate commitment is allocating resources to a cause. And so the absence or the little budget that has been allocated to the Department of Children's Services is not very encouraging in terms of the government supporting the protection of children in this country.
The Safe CLICS project was implemented by 3 partners. Child Fund Kenya, which was the prime partner, and then we had Life Skills Promoters and Childline Kenya. So Childline Kenya specifically handled matters of the community, sensitizing the community on how to keep children safe on the online space, how parents can monitor children's engagement online, and to really just mentor them in that process so that they are safe, even as they interact with the digital platforms, which are very good, but also present various challenges and harms to children.
The concept behind the whole school approach is that when you are trying to change behavior and attitudes, developing a culture around that is very helpful. And so institutionalizing that is also very helpful. And so with the Safe CLICS, that's the approach we've used. And it means that awareness is created around everybody. Everybody is talking the same thing, and they're supporting one another, and they're learning together. So we use the same approach, train teachers, parents, learners were dialoguing. And so no one is left behind. The whole school is so involved.
So Safe CLICS provided us an opportunity to sensitize the community, including the children, so that they first know this is what it means for me to be exposed sexually online. So now I know how it looks. What do I do about it? Who do I report to? Who is available for me? And how do I do that? Because you might also know that the police office exists or the helpline, but how do you access it? So when they have known what to do, then they reach out. And so Safe CLICS allowed them that opportunity to reach out. And we had teams on the ground in the field, but we also had teams receiving those reports at the help. Remember, everybody's calling. Pretty much the whole population, even if it will not turn out to be a case, they might be calling to just talk to someone, clarify something. So you always need to have more sets of hands, so to speak, to receive all the calls or all the attempts that are made, out of which then you narrow down to the cases that are reported. Portions of this are already budgeted for, but it's very little. I think more needs to be done in terms of just providing adequate services to the children.
The Safe CLICS project also championed for the activation of the Victim Protection Fund, where victims, not just child victims, but all victims of abuse, victims of every manner of victim is actually supposed to be compensated through this fund. In our case, we highlight the plight of child victims. And so the fact that this Victim Protection Fund has not been activated is a matter of concern, because there are children victims of online sexual exploitation and abuse where the courts advise that they be compensated, yet when the fund is not activated, that will not happen. Really, where there is internet, there is risk. And so NGOs and other agencies that are complementing government effort are not able to reach everywhere. But if the government is able to do that, then where there is internet, children are going to be protected, and even they'll be protected both online and offline.
Most cases go unreported because children don't know how to seek help, or worse, they blame themselves. Between 2021 and 2022, reports of child sexual exploitation and abuse doubled in Kenya. Who is responsible and what is being done?
Through the project, we have had several interventions on capacity building, targeting different groups within the country, both from the national, counties, and even at the community level, and without forgetting even schools. So at the national level, we've been able to build capacity of government stakeholders on online child sexual exploitation prevention, response, and even around issues of referral mechanisms. And by doing this, through the project, we were able to work with the government to come up with the National Social Service Providers Training Manual on OCSEA.
Child Fund, working with the 3 partners, engaged very widely over the period of implementing this project in delivering the expectations of the donor in terms of development of materials, in training of the social workforce, where conversations on the protection of children within the online space was very key. It was a multi-sectoral kind of engagement where everyone's expertise counted.
We have also built capacity of teachers within the school environment to be able to understand the online risks, to be able to support children when it comes to response to online violence against children, and also to be able to even report these cases themselves within the school environment.
So one of the key approaches we used during the implementation was the all-school approach, where we ensured that everyone in the school community is empowered to be able to respond to issues of online child sexual exploitation and abuse. And one of our key things was to build the capacity of learners using peer educators to be able to identify and report cases of OCSEA to the helpline and to relevant authorities.
At the community level, we built capacity of community champions, where we identified community volunteers within the community who were mapped from existing groups. And these community volunteers were trained on online child sexual exploitation and abuse. They were also trained as TOTs within the communities to be able to hold dialogue forums with caregivers within their communities.
I got more training from SafeLink, Childline and Child Fund Kenya, which now I'm empowered to work in my community. We are training about safeguarding, about online child protection, and also how the online child abuse take place through Facebook, how we can protect our children through Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and other apps which is affecting our children online.
Mnaelewa nini tukisema online child sexual exploitation and abuse? What do you understand by that? Yes? Unafaa kumdiscipline, si ndio? Hata young age. Mpigeni makofi moja. Platforms zile zofanya OCSEA ina happen kwa watoto wetu ni kama gani? Yes? TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, Snapchat, movies, X, umesahau?
Child Fund, through the project, we have worked very closely with the National Child Helpline 116. Through the National Child Helpline 116, they use child protection, the CRM, to document or to record cases of online safety. So once these calls come in through the Child Helpline system, then the calls are automatically fed into the Child Protection Information Management System of the government. So that collaboration and that linkage of the Child Helpline system with the government system, we've seen cases that are coming even from the project side, cases that are coming from throughout the country that are hitting the National Helpline 116, then they are also recorded within the Child Protection Information Management System of the government.
Over the time, we have seen a steady increase of cases as reported to the National Child Helpline 116, and that is testament enough to the work that community champions and gatekeepers have been doing to sensitize and to improve the capacities of caregivers to respond and report cases of online child sexual exploitation and abuse. In the year 2022, we received 46 cases. And if you look back at that particular period, the project was beginning, and going now to the year 2023 to 2024, we have seen an average of 250 cases reported per year. And that speaks a lot towards the number of cases being reported due to the strengthening of community surveillance activities that have been happening in the community. So for Childline Kenya, we have steadily improved the capacity of gatekeepers that exist within the communities. So we are talking of the chiefs that we have in the community, the assistant chiefs, the people who we call Nyumba Kumi leaders, essentially those people who look after the welfare of communities at the local level to be able to identify these particular cases. But as they identify, they also get to report some of the cases to the National Child Helpline 116. That's a little different from what we would see in the previous years, essentially because they did not identify online crimes against children as crimes that can be prosecuted. But I think with the continued improvement in capacities, that has happened, and now we are seeing a lot of reporting from these structures that we work with in the community.
95% of these cases were being recorded from the project sites where we are implementing this project. That is in Nairobi, Kiambu, Kilifi and Mombasa counties. So we had a very low percentage coming from these other counties where we don't have intervention. So that also speaks to the gap that is there when it comes to knowledge about OCSEA, when it comes to community being aware whether we have online risks for children, and also it could be attributed to gaps in reporting mechanisms around online child safety. As we report an increase within the 3 years of the project, then we are also asking ourselves, have we been able to do enough? Or do we still need to do more, especially in the counties where the project is not being implemented, because we are not seeing reports coming from those counties.
A recent report by UNICEF, just in line with the efforts that Safe CLICS has been doing, indicated that very many sub-counties in this country do not have a children officer. Then it means protection of children is not maximized. And so calling upon the government to allocate a budget towards planning, towards implementation of the deliverables of the Department of Children's Services, just to make sure that they demonstrate that level of commitment. All children in Kenya are not able to access the services of the National Child Helpline. Not all children in the 47 counties know about it or even are utilizing its services.
Throughout the implementation of this project, we've been able to support the government to develop the National Training Manual for social service providers, standard operating procedures on online child sexual exploitation and abuse. And these two documents are documents that are supposed to be used by the social service providers, by any actors within the child protection systems to guide on how best they can respond to issues of online safety. So for this project, that is a milestone or an achievement that we celebrate. And also looking at the timelines that we were able to deliver on these documents, it was on record time because the two documents were developed within 1 year of implementing the Safe CLICS project. So we also acknowledge and appreciate support from all the actors that contributed to this success.
Over the past few months, we have been actively engaging with Child Fund in various convenings on and roundtables on child online safety. We have worked with our partners, Child Fund, and also the DCS to be able to just come up with a manual that enables us as operators to know how we can support the CSOs when it comes to online safety. Through our participation in the various convenings that they have been inviting us, we've been able to show our insights and also engage on various policy gaps that we as Safaricom, as an operator, have noticed, and see how we can bridge that gap, because even with Child Fund and all the other organizations and the government, we've been able to identify ways which you can come together and see what you can do to protect the children. Child Fund has been very helpful. We've been able to come up with various solutions which we're looking to implement, not just as an operator, but even as a service provider to our children and our future generations. Safaricom recently signed an agreement with UNICEF and Directorate of Children's Services, DCS, to run a campaign called Spot It, Stop It. This campaign mainly creates awareness among children for them to be able to recognize situations where they know that material that is put online is probably going to harm them. We have the reporting lines that they can call into, or they can even send an email to us to be able to report such information. We also partner with GSMA to come up with a microsite where we have a child online protection guideline that is able to guide not just children, but guardians, caregivers, teachers, to be able to spot anything or any material that our children are accessing that may be harmful.
During the first term, there's this girl who came in at grade 7, and she was kind of having some queer behavior. We would find her wanting to be close to the boys. We know it's adolescence, so we thought it is that time of life when they are growing. But then it kept escalating. You would find her having applied the makeups and all that. So we would caution her. But then one day, the mother calls. The secretary picks the call and she asked to speak to her daughter. So since the deputy was nearer, the secretary took the phone to her, and the deputy said, okay, what is it? She said she wanted to talk to her daughter. And you know, this is a school, it's a day school. She asked if there was anything that had happened at home, and she said no. She just wanted to talk to the daughter. So the deputy head of institution called the daughter. But when the child arrived, she looked at the phone number and was like, this is my man's phone number, I cannot take it. So the deputy was taken aback, what is it? And she said, I don't want to talk to her. I just don't want to talk to her, that's all. So the deputy had to disconnect the phone and then ask the child what the problem was. And she said, my mother has been doing bad things to me sexually, and I don't want to talk to her. I'm not supposed to talk to her. So she prompted her. So we asked her then what happened. She said she couldn't tell her grandmother because she was scared. She decided to tell her neighbor, and the neighbor called the grandmother. So that's how the grandmother reported this to the police, and the mother was taken in. So as she was calling her from police custody. That was the story. So the deputy said, if this is the case, then we are not going to force you to talk to your mother, and we are not going to call her back. So when the mother called again, the deputy said, no, you cannot talk to your daughter. We will need to talk to the grandmother first to establish what happened. And then she disconnected the call. Yeah. And I think this was because after I learned, the guidance and counseling teacher also learned the same thing at Milele when we were taken there for a course, for a training. And we came back here and sensitized the learners. So this girl got courage to come forward, even though it was this phone call that made her say it. But again, the way she wasn't afraid to tell the teachers. And even when we asked her later what really happened, she was able to say it. And even if you met her, she would just narrate that thing because she is confident that she's going to get help. Now, the problem is after that now, we don't know what next, because this girl has been traumatized. She has gone through something she shouldn't have gone through. She's very young. And at grade 7, we expect learners to be around 11. If they're older, maybe 12. So a 12-year-old and 11-year-old, you cannot expose them to sex. Yeah, and we don't know what to do after that. And that is a gap that I think needs to be looked into. Yeah, I would say that. And for me, I'm really grateful that she came forth. She came forward and said her story. And when we had a meeting, we had the last meeting with the life skills and Childline. Actually, they have really supported us. They trained even the peer educators, and there has been a lot of support in the school. We only lack support for the parents because we need the parents to be also sensitized. We also need the board to be sensitized. Even though the board chair was sensitized, it's just one person, so we need the whole community. I have 744 learners here, and more than 200 are girls. So even the boys, I know nowadays people molest even the boys. Eh? So I think there's a lot yet to be done, even as we appreciate what has been done so far.
First, I must applaud the government for enacting the Children's Bill, which is now the Children Act 2022. That one really strengthened the legislative environment in terms of protecting children online. But I would say we still have a long way to go.
Wazazi ama caregivers wenye tuko nao wamefaidika na mradi wa Childline through kusoma. Tumewafunza kuhusu dangers za online za OCSEA, wanajua mahali wanaweza report, wanajua ku identify cases za online za OCSEA. Na saizi hata kuna survivor mmoja tuko naye kesi yake imekuwa prosecuted mpaka to the end na perpetrator akafungwa. Sasa tunafurahia sana kwa sababu caregivers wako na knowledge na wako na ufahamu ya mahali wanaweza report, wanaweza identify na wanajua procedures zote mahali wanafaa kuripoti na kufuatiliza kesi za OCSEA. Ndio.